Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
Enjoy your home for the holidays with store-wide savings at Room to Room. 50% off, 48-month special financing, and as our gift to you, a free accessory buyer's card. There's something here for everyone, including gift cards. Merry Christmas from Room to Room Tupelo.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I hope all of y'all have had a fantastic Friday evening where that was spent staying warm inside, watching some high school football state championships, or even go out to some Christmas parades. It has been an action-packed start to our weekend here in North Mississippi, and thankfully that continues into our Saturday and Sunday because we have a beautiful weekend ahead. So let's just get right into it. We have a drizzly overnight period for some. Keyword some. Only some or a few of us will see these rain changes overnight, and I say rain changes, these are going to be maybe a light shower, sprinkle, drizzle. It's not going to be anything major, but those models getting a little bit more confident on the southernmost portions of our viewing area, getting that rainfall later on tonight. We'll be covering when and what time and where that will be later on in this broadcast, but we will have a beautiful weekend ahead. You all saw that in the notification I sent out. It's a beautiful weekend and mostly dry, not really seeing widespread rainfall, but all of us will see these beautiful conditions and pretty much mostly dry as we continue into the weekend ahead. Of course, those rain changes will briefly return for your Sunday, but also not going to stick around for long. I'll be discussing when we can expect those later on in this broadcast as well. But let's take some live looks across North Mississippi this evening. This is out in Greenville, 37 degrees, feels like 33, 6-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the south. I mean, a beautiful night, but also a chilly night as well. So if you're going outdoors, make sure you have those layers on. I technically got 2 on, but it is not enough, especially with these thin shirts, but I will make sure to be ready to run and sprint to my car after this shift is done. But let's take another look out here in Caledonia. 42 feels like 42 as well. Not much of a wind component out there, and that's why those temperatures and feels like values are matching up perfectly as well. But still, the main story, make sure you have those layers on as you are heading out the door for any late night plans. But take a look at the first 12. Changed just a little bit, and those are those rain changes. Kind of a little bit more confident on when and where we can see them. Good news is it's happening overnight, not going to affect any outdoor plans. If you have any at 2 to 6 o'clock in the morning, well, you're kind of out of luck, but also only in the southernmost portion of our viewing area. We're starting off with temperatures around 36 degrees by 11 o'clock, still seeing those mostly cloudy skies. Those rain chances briefly return for only a select few of us. I mean, 10% of us here in North Mississippi will see those rain chances, and then we're seeing dry conditions by the time we wake up for our Saturday. Warming on up, already seeing mid-40s by the time we reach 11 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about low to mid-50s for our highs later on tomorrow. It will be amazing here in North Mississippi. But as of right now, our Mississippi Live weather radar is still showing dry conditions all across North Mississippi, and that is still an excellent thing as we're wrapping up some high school football state championships, maybe some parades across North Mississippi. We don't want anything active on this radar in general, and that is a good thing to see as we get ready for the weekend ahead. But one of the things that's kind of responsible for this, that high pressure system keeping all of that rain down south of our viewing area, not really affecting us here in North Mississippi, but some of those rain chances will try to just skim us later on tonight, but we're still seeing pretty much dry conditions all across the United States right now. Those rain chances are pretty much in the southern portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, even to South Carolina as well. But for us right now, we are staying dry into the overnight hours. It just depends on how long will those dry conditions last. Well, let's take a look at this right quick with Futurecast, showing that cloud cover all across our viewing area, still blanketing us as we get ready for our overnight period. But there's those rain chances, and I'm talking, just grazing the southern portion of our viewing area. You can see Winston, Attala, Noxubee, Golden Triangle region. That's going to be the area where you can really see some of those rain chances. Also in the southern portions of the Delta, not as confident on these, but you can start seeing those darker greens. Could see some sprinkles, a shower or two, but this is at 3:30 in the morning. Not going to affect any plans. Most of us won't even realize this happened overnight if it ends up happening, especially making it to the surface. But all of us will start seeing drier conditions, especially by the time we are waking up for our Saturday morning, seeing drier conditions and beautiful conditions as well. Now these models doing a little bit better on trying to depict somewhat of a clearing tomorrow. We'll be discussing that later on in this broadcast as well, but we have a beautiful day ahead of us. That Next 24 shows it perfectly. Still 10% by the time you're waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, but it's Saturday. Most of us are sleeping in. We're not going to worry about those rain chances. Starting off with temperatures around 33 degrees, but by the time most of us are waking up 9 o'clock, seeing those mostly cloudy skies, 38 degrees, warming on up towards the low 50s in the afternoon, seeing somewhat of a clearing take place. Dry and beautiful conditions in store before we already start cooling back off, seeing upper 30s later on tomorrow evening and getting ready for that 10 o'clock broadcast time. But before we go anywhere, I want to give you the very latest on those rain chances and also when and what time we can expect them, but those beautiful conditions that will persist for your Saturday and into your Sunday as well. We're going to have the latest on your forecast coming up in 1 minute.
When you've been injured, don't settle for a lawyer who doesn't even know where you live. Call Langston and Lott. Local lawyers, personal service, real results.
I'm your retirement fear, but don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. This is pretirement.org.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
Hi, my name is Rosie. Regional Rehab Center helps kids like me by offering speech therapy, occupational therapy, and dyslexia therapy. Your support helps so many of us get what we need to grow and succeed. Please help the Rehab Center.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 10. Let's get started with this segment talking about your state championships tomorrow. We're going to be starting off with Noxubee County. I think it's around noon will be kickoff. Temperatures will be around 48 degrees, seeing those partly cloudy skies down there in Starkville. Then we'll kick off for East Webster around 51 degrees, warming on up as you continue into the afternoon hours. But then by the time Tupelo is ready to walk onto that stage, the temperatures are going to start dropping as well as you continue into the evening. Around 41 degrees, still seeing those clearing of the skies, but that cloud cover will continue moving on in later on in the evening. But enough of me forecasting the weather. Let's talk to the guy that really knows this stuff and everything you need to know to prepare for these matchups tomorrow.
Welcome to Comeyer's Corner. What a week it's been, right? At Davis Wade Stadium in Starkville, hosting this year's MHSAA State High School Football Championships. In fact, I've been on 6 of the last 7 days here on Mississippi Live, either here in the studio or outside Davis Wade Stadium there in Starkville. And it's now time to preview Saturday's final 3 games. And it starts at high noon with Noxubee County and Raleigh taking on each other in the Class 3A State Championship. Noxubee County looking for its first state title since 2017. Now the Tigers are making their 4th straight appearance in the state championship and 6 of the last 7 years. That's a nice little run right there, to say the least. Unfortunately for Noxubee County, they have yet to win a state title in that 6 out of 7 years, including the last 4. Let's see if they can do it this year. Of course, last year it was Kamario Taylor that was leading the way for Noxubee County in this one. Of course, the freshman phenom now at Mississippi State. And you see what this year's Noxubee County team has been able to do. They can score some points. They can give up some points as well. And of course, Raleigh, just their 3rd state championship appearance. They won it all in 2022 thanks to now Ole Miss standout defender, Centarian Perkins. What a monster game he had in that state championship in 2022. How about 337 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns? He also converted 4 two-point conversions. And I don't know if you remember, but he had a key interception late in the 4th quarter with about 4 minutes left to seal that deal in that one. Finished the year over 2,000 yards and 32 touchdowns. But of course, now he just concentrates on defense and is having a terrific career at Ole Miss. So that wraps up the 3A preview. But like I said, there are 3 state championship clashes on Saturday there at Davis Wade Stadium. And so we go from 3A to Class 2A. And in Class 2A, it is East Webster. What a year the Wolverines have had. And they're taking on Heidelberg. East Webster looking for their first ever state title. It's their 3rd appearance. The last one a decade ago in 2015. And of course, Heidelberg playing its 3rd straight state championship game. And they won it all a year ago thanks to this year's Mr. Football in 2A quarterback Chase Kraft. And Kraft this year, when you combine his rushing touchdowns and passing touchdowns, he has accounted for 51 touchdowns this year. You can see why that team is averaging right at 7 touchdowns a game. East Webster's offense, remember, they got the dual threat at quarterback with Stidham and Avant, but they're averaging still 40 points a game. And look at the defenses. Those are some stingy defenses that will be on display in the Class 2A state championship game. And then there is the final nightcap. What a way to wrap up this year's state championships than to concentrate on the largest classification in Mississippi, Class 7A. And that's where Tupelo, trying to defend its state title of a year ago, taking on Gulfport. A lot of interesting storylines in this one. Tupelo making its 6th ever state championship appearance, trying to defend, as I mentioned, their state title of a year ago, and they are led by J.J. Hill, Mr. Football in 7A, not only this year, but last year as well. Only 3 people have ever done that. Very impressive by J.J. Hill, the Mississippi State commit, now signee. He did that, made it official earlier this week. And of course, they had that thrilling come-from-behind win last week at Tupelo High School against Oxford. The Chargers led them 20-7. Tupelo came all the way back to win it 21-20. I talked with Tupelo head coach Ty Harden afterwards, and he basically said, we made it look ugly, but I'll take it. And he'll take it this week as well. But he also knows that he needs a quick start, and he's looking for that with that offense of theirs that's averaging right at 34 points a game. And defensively, they're giving up 2 touchdowns. You see Gulfport, they can score, and they're right about the same when it comes to points allowed per game. Now, Gulfport has never won a state title. In fact, their only appearance was the year before I came down here to North Mississippi. That was 1982. And so it'll be Tupelo and Gulfport wrapping up this year's state championships there in Starkville. 7 games. It's already been a great championship week already at Davis Wade Stadium, and I know we will have some dandies on Saturday as well. And that will wrap up Kohlmeyer's Corner. We appreciate you watching all season long when I previewed high school football games and, of course, previewing all of these state championships as well.
Well, a big thanks to our Will Kohlmeyer for giving us that lovely insight to those state championship games. And also, I wanted to make sure, Patty, Jason, I saw y'all's comments in the comment section. I'm going to be getting to that answer in just a second once I get a map behind me. But those current conditions right now outside here in Tupelo, 38 degrees, feels like 36. That dew point around 36 as well. Still a lovely night across North Mississippi, as long as you can handle the cold. Me, I can't, so not that lovely to me, but still going to be a beautiful one as well. Now coming to Futurecast here, finally got a map around us. I know y'all are asking about what the Golden Triangle region is, and that's a term that I use a lot, saying that I'm from there, but it's talking about 3 cities, and y'all got 2 of them, and it was Columbus and West Point. I know a guess was South Tupelo, but y'all are leaving out the best one, and I'm biased because I'm from there. 3rd one is Starkville out there in Oktibbeha County, so if you kind of connect the dots with those 3, kind of makes a little triangle out there, and that's what they call the Golden Triangle region out there. So that's kind of our term that we use for that southern area down there, but wanted to make sure y'all got that answer and knew what the Golden Triangle region is and what I'm talking about. But coming back to Futurecast to talk about those conditions that we're going to be experiencing as we continue into the evening ahead, we're still going to see that blanket of cloud cover all across our viewing area, even the Golden Triangle region. And as we continue into the overnight period, that Golden Triangle region will start seeing some rainfall as well. It's the most southern portions of our viewing area that will start seeing this rainfall, but still, what I want to keep pointing out, this is at 3:30 in the morning. Most of us are going to be asleep. Not many of us will be awake, so we're not even going to realize this is happening, especially because this won't be heavy at all. I'm expecting sprinkles, drizzles, maybe a shower or 2, especially down there in Louisville, just north of the city as well. But that's going to be pretty much it. Once we move past that 3 to 6 o'clock time frame, we're going to start waking up towards drier conditions here in North Mississippi, and we'll have a beautiful Saturday as we continue into the weekend ahead. But those low temperatures will be a chilly start, especially if you're waking up early. Pretty much low 30s all across North Mississippi, even some upper 20s. 29 out there in Holly Springs and Senatobia, 31 South Haven, Tunica, 37 out there in Greenville, Belzona, then 36 in Starkville, Columbus, and the Golden Triangle region. Going to be a chilly start to the day ahead, but Futurecast still showing drier conditions on the horizon, especially as we get started with our Saturday and continue into the lunchtime, afternoon hours. That cloud cover going to stay pretty heavy on the front end, but these models still not doing a good job showing the clearing that will take place later. Do expect somewhat of a clearing in the afternoon, early evening hours, but even this one showing that cloud cover going towards 7. You're going to see how that model will kind of flip it later on in this broadcast. But the main consensus, it will be a beautiful day tomorrow and a dry day tomorrow here in North Mississippi. And what's responsible for that? High temperatures. We're talking about mid 50s coming back into the forecast. 55 out there in Grenada, Greenwood, Belzona, 52 in Cleveland, 51 in Senatobia, 50 Corinth, Boonville, Iuka, Red Bay. Going to be a beautiful day. Now those feels like values could be a little bit chillier than some of those actual temperatures reading outdoors. So still, December here in North Mississippi. Make sure you have those layers on, getting ready for Christmas break. Still going to be a little bit chilly, but definitely better than what we've seen throughout the work week as we get ready for the weekend ahead. And one thing that is going on this weekend, we keep talking about having an action-packed weekend. St. Jude Memphis Marathon. I know I have some friends running that race. I think some activities kicking off tonight, but especially into tomorrow. You're going to be starting off with temperatures around 33 degrees by 7 o'clock, warming on up towards the low 40s by 12, and then seeing mid to upper 40s by 3, even some low 50s as well, as we are finally getting those temperatures back in the forecast. Definitely excited for it. So good luck to all of y'all running those races tomorrow. I know y'all are going to kill it. It will be a great day to do so. But coming back to Futurecast, there we go. Where's that cloud cover? This model kind of doing the opposite story with it, kind of showing much of a clearing by those early evening hours. This is starting at 6 o'clock for your Saturday. And as we continue into the evening and overnight period, that cloud cover already starting to build back in again. That's through that cold front, kind of moving on through on the last part of our weekend into your Sunday morning. And with that, bringing some isolated chances of rainfall. Notice this is a very weak cold front, not bringing widespread storms or just rainfall in general across North Mississippi. Only a select few of us will see this. That's why you see a 20% chance for your Sunday. But notice, once we make it past those mid-morning hours towards lunchtime and on, we are seeing dry and beautiful conditions as well. Believe it or not, it's going to be a little bit warmer Sunday as compared to your Saturday. So that cold front not really cooling us off. It's just that weak across North Mississippi as it continues pushing on through. But we are seeing drier conditions, and then that cloud cover starting to build up just a little bit more Sunday night into your early Monday morning hours as well. Now those high temperatures for your Sunday, a little bit warmer than your Saturday, pretty much mid to upper 50s, not 60s, definitely not there. Low 60s coming to pop up in your forecast as well. 61 in Houston, 60 Eupora, 55 Holly Springs, Oxford, Senatobia, South Haven, Cleveland, and 57 down there in Greenville as well. And those feels like values doing a lot better, matching up exactly with those temperatures, so it will feel just as good as those temperatures are reading outdoors throughout your Sunday. But that 7-day forecast shows a lot of dry conditions coming up within the next 7 days. We will see, let's imagine a 10% for your Saturday as those isolated rainfall chances kind of move on through our area overnight, especially for the Golden Triangle region, southern portions of our viewing area, even the southern Delta. But then Sunday, you see that 20% with that cold front making its way through North Mississippi, offering those isolated chances yet again while most of us continue to stay dry. Then from pretty much post mid-morning Sunday and on, we're seeing dry conditions for the rest of the weekend and into the work week as well. Even a forecasted high of around 60 for Wednesday, which I am very excited about. Hope it can stay true, especially because that's a little bit above average for this time of year. See down here, normal high is around 58 degrees, so I'm not built for the cold. I will definitely welcome that with open arms, but still a beautiful week here in North Mississippi. But let's focus on Saturday and Sunday for now, because that is the weekend and we have worked hard to get to another weekend here in North Mississippi. But before I let y'all go, I want to make sure to play this video for y'all real quick. Our meteorologist, Gabe Maynard, was out at the Christmas parade. He was able to put together this little package to show y'all all the floats that came on by. Well, there you have it. There was, I believe it was the 77th Tupelo Christmas Parade occurring on Main Street earlier on this evening. Now, before we start wrapping this up, I want to read the chat because I know y'all asked questions earlier talking about the Golden Triangle region. I know Jason was originally the one that asked this. Yep, asking if we read this. Yes, we do our best to read all these comments. I know I'm broadcasting the weather and not really looking at this during the show, but after I always try to see if there's anything else in there. Looks like we're talking about a lot of dishes being done, but seems like they were all hand washed and taken care of. So look at you go, getting all of that out of the way. Now you can enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. Still talking about, oh, yep, Coach Kiffin. Yep, big news here in North Mississippi. It's been very eventful here in North Mississippi lately, and thankfully we're going to start seeing a beautiful weekend as well. Of course, before we wrap up, I want to show y'all the QR codes as well for both the Apple and Android version of our app. Same app, just across both softwares for both Apple and Android. Want to make sure all of y'all can access it. Here's the QR code to both of them right here. Make sure to just scan it. You can download it to your phone, share it to some loved ones, make sure everybody has it, especially as we get closer towards severe weather seasons, these frosty conditions as well, talking about some ice. I know our morning meteorologist, Maggie McCauley, was talking about some black ice conditions that we experience here in North Mississippi. So making sure that you are prepared every time you walk out of the door, no matter if it's morning, night, we got you covered here at Mississippi Live Weather. And of course, we'll be back towards our weekend schedule starting tomorrow. We'll be live at 6 and 10 to give you the very latest on these beautiful weekend conditions and also those rain chances. So I hope everyone has a beautiful night overnight. Enjoy maybe some sprinkles and showers if y'all are in the southern portion of our viewing area, but enjoy a dry Saturday ahead. And I look forward to seeing y'all back here in the Room to Room Weather Center tomorrow night at 6 and 10. Y'all have a good night.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
You wonder how they're going to experience the real world in real safety, where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.